It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
And let's talk about some of this crazy advice we're seeing come out on social media in light of these unique inflationary times that we're living in right now. So the first one is, this is a unique thing, Bo. It's that people are saying, are cars now an investment? Because I hear that they're appreciating in value. That's unique.
And you may be saying, no, we're financial mutants. Nobody's saying that. Au contraire, take a look at this.
Oh, watch this.
Everybody knows that most cars lose 25% of their value as soon as you drive them off the lot.
Agreed.
But today, that's no longer the case. This Lamborghini Urus retails brand new for $250,000. But because of a shortage in inventory, this same car, even with 30,000 kilometers on it, can go for $300,000. So flipping luxury cars has become the new craze. So people are actually making money when cars like these leave the lot in today's market. For more financial facts and tips, follow me on TikTok and Instagram.
That came pretty fast, Bo. So I want to summarize.
Yeah, please
She's
do.
saying a brand new Lamborghini SUV is $250,000, but because we're in this crazy world right now, you can actually have a used, because she said that 30,000 miles, or
That's
I
right.
can't remember what
She
it
says
was.
kilometers, I think.
Kilometers. So, but she said a used Lamborghini is actually selling for over $300,000. First of all, this is a pet peeve of mine. You realize that Lamborghini SUV is built on the Audi. It's like a Q8. I think
did not
because
know that.
every time I see one of those things, I'm always like, do they realize they just bought an Audi? I mean, it's just, for like 5 times the price that they could have gotten, an Audi.
The same car for
but it is. But guys, there is so much here to unpack because she's talking about maybe you should flip luxury cars.
Not just any car. You should start flipping luxury cars. And we're talking about things in like the $250,000 range. I mean, can you imagine, Brian, if one of our financial meetings out there came with this idea, I'm going to start flipping luxury cars, how disastrously bad that could go and how quickly that could happen.
Yeah, I feel like context is always needed. The first thing you have to ask yourself is, do trees grow to heaven? I mean, that is I can't remember who said that. I know we had a business associate that threw that out to us. I think we all need to think about why, and I've said this on so many shows, when we talk about our 23-8 rule for buying cars, we say that vehicles are napalm to your financial life, and that's because they're just not good. So let's go through why cars are typically and historically horrible for your finances.
The first one she even alluded to. She even said this, that new cars depreciate over time. She had threw out a number of 25% in year one. According to data from Edmunds, now this is not luxury cars, this is just on average, a car depreciates about, 19% in the first year. After 3 years, they will have lost 42% of their value. After 5 years, they've lost 60% of their value. So when you think about an asset that you buy, generally speaking, you want the value of the asset to increase. Cars are not that. They get less valuable over time. So I'm thinking about something where I want to think about making money and investing. That's the first giant red flag to me. They are depreciating. Even if they're not depreciating right now in this moment, that is a truth, a fact that likely is not going to change.
Well, there's several impacts here. There's supply chain issues that have kept the computer chips and things. And then you've also got all this glut of money that's been dumped into the economy that's created this demand that can't be matched with the current supply. This will not continue forever. Right. So don't get lost, because realize it's not only the depreciation. Cars cost money to own, whether we're talking about, by the way, insurance on a luxury car, not going to be cheap. The money to keep that car healthy, not going to be cheap. And then, the fuel costs. Heck, you better just hope it only takes premium. That car might take some type of special fuel that just because it's high, the engine is highly tuned. All that stuff costs you money. It's not like you just unload the money of buying the vehicle and then and you're done and you can let the money come in. You have to just maintain this.
Let's look at some actual numbers. If we think about the total monthly cost of owning a car. So right now, if you look at the average auto loan payment in this country, it's about $609 a month.
And that's not a Lamborghini, by
that
the way.
right there just kind of blows my mind a little bit, because I bet if you looked at the average monthly savings for the American household, it's probably not $609 a month.
But we're not done with just car payment. What else is there?
You have the payment, and then car insurance, $89 a month. If
that's not a Lamborghini
if
either.
you're not a young person, and if you don't have any driving record issues. Fuel with today's gas prices on average cost about $232 a month. And then maintenance, just to kind of keep the things, is about $100 a month. So the average American driver spends a little over $1,000 every month to own and drive a vehicle. That is an asset that has a lot of carry cost associated with it.
Well, it's not only carry costs, there's opportunity costs, Bo. I think everybody out there, I go to moneyguy.com/resources, download our free deliverable on Money Multiplier. What is each dollar in your army of dollars worth in the future? Because if you're saving, instead of doing car payments of $1,000 a month, think about if you were saving and investing $1,000 a month, especially if you're in your 20s, 30s, even 40s. That is tremendous amounts of money in the long term. Don't fall into this financial trap.
Now, Brian, this next point is something we talked about, and this is why maybe cars are not the most fantastic investment opportunity. You are a little longer in the tooth, and I've heard you...
Now, come on. Now, you don't get out that easy, Bo, because what we're about to show, you were on this planet when this car was being made and manufactured and cutting edge. So you were long enough in the tooth, too. You just might have pooped inside of this thing. Keep going.
So you've counseled me a few times on cars. Hey, be careful in the car you buy, because technology that's super cool today might not be super cool in the future. It becomes obsolete, and it becomes obsolete rather quickly. And you said, hey guys, go find me a picture of an automobile. And Daniel Witten found a 1990 Cadillac Eldorado Touring. I got to believe this was a pretty fancy car.
It's a ballin' vehicle back in the day. I mean, look at this thing. This is my point, is that this is cutting edge. And for those out there listening on the podcast, what you don't know, most of us know about speedometers, and then your tachometer for showing you the RPMs of the engine and stuff. And what's funny is we went through a period forever, you're watching the needle to see how far it goes up. But for a small period of time, we got very excited about that digital LED, that blue hue that you could fill the entire, inside of your car with, where you could see the speedometer, you could do your temperature, everything. This thing was cutting edge in 1990. And yes, Bo was potty trained by this point, but he was still on the planet. And here's what I think. If you drove this car now, you're not. This ain't the dashboard of what a modern car looks like. It's obsolete at this point. So don't fall into the trap. And I even see that when you like SEMA. I go out to Vegas to SEMA because I got friends in the auto industry, and I'm always amazed if you go on eBay and type in SEMA vehicles from the past. You can see you can buy these cars that were worth a fortune when they were new, for much more affordable prices, because they get old too, and taste and trends change, and it loses its value.
Now, I want to give you I want to give you some kudos here, because we were kind of talking about, so obviously we've sort of laid out all these reasons why cars are not like a sound investment in that aspect. But what she said is, hey, things are different. We're sort of in this new paradigm right now. We're in this time that's different. And you said, man, every time you hear that, every time you hear new paradigm or new normal or things are different, your spidey senses immediately kind of go off. It's something we say. And you were talking in show prep about how, look, what we're seeing right now with inflation, some stuff is stickier than other, and a financial mutant knows how to recognize that. Talk a little bit about what you were saying there.
Yeah, I mean, be careful of reversion to the mean, and the fact that, houses take a while to build. So, some of this, and we're going to cover housing in a minute, but you'll see some of those prices might be stickier. Vehicles, look, they're going to get the supply chains fixed. We're going to, money supply, as they raise interest rates, is going to start coming down. The system will equalize. And if you're thinking that we're in this new paradigm where cars don't lose value anymore and you should even invest and do crazy schemes like buy luxury vehicles, you might find yourself holding the bag at the end of the day.